welcome to the channel. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. I know a lot of you guys thought that I've been slacking, and that's why I haven't released a video on the Fusion Champion, or some of you guys thought that I really don't like the Fusion Champion. I just did not have a chance to basically do it because I was away last week and I did not have the champion on the test server, but this morning, lovely Banana Jam actually added a champion to my account on the test server, so now we can actually take him for a spin. The Fusion started already. To be honest with you guys, I did not have a look at the Fusion calendar just yet. I'm not sure if it's going to be something super hard or it's just going to be like a regular chilled Fusion. But I will be bringing that on the screen if I can. Actually, I cannot. So either way, we have two summoning events here. So we have two summoning events. It seems like we're getting the epic from the summon rush as usual. If you're going hard on the summon rush this weekend, it means that most likely you're going to be able to skip the champion chase tournament or, of course, a dungeon divers event or something different. It seems to be pretty straightforward. Maybe we're going to get lucky and summon the epic champion or something like that. Either way, let's quickly talk about the Fusion champion, guys. And that is Mr. Fabian, right? Lord Entertainer Fabian. And that champion, Spirit Affinity Support. Now, I gotta be honest with you guys. He's actually pretty damn awesome. I'm really liking the champion. Starting with A1, service in that attacks one enemy twice. Each hit steals turn meter. If you are completely depleting the turn meter, you're gonna have a chance to land True Fear on the enemy. With A2, attacks one enemy, places a petrification debuff for one turn, and has a chance of placing a True Fear debuff for 2 turns on all enemies other that are not under fear or True Fear. Sorry. The passive effect activates this skill whenever an enemy under a fear or a True Fear debuff successfully uses skill. So basically when they are taking a turn. Which is pretty damn nice because this has no cooldown whatsoever. Then you have the A3, Spectral Flourish, attacks all enemies before attacking, has a chance of decreasing the duration of all enemy buffs by 3 turns. Now this can be really solid, guys. Unlike Crixia, who actually removes buffs and has a chance to get polymorph when that happens, Fabian doesn't actually remove them, decreases the cooldown, right? So it's pretty much the equivalent of removing them because you're basically decreasing the cooldown by 3 turns. So nobody will start with a higher count on the turns. Then has a chance of increasing the cooldowns of all enemy skills by 3 turns. Which, there you go, you got your cooldown. I know recently a lot of people were like, oh my god, I wish they would introduce a proper lockout champion. I wish they would bring in a lockout champion. Since they brought us Alice, which she's okay. She's not really doing much in terms of a increased cooldown skill champion because you have epic champions doing the exact same thing. But Fabian right here, guys, increases the cooldown of the skills by 3 turns. And if they have no active buffs after he's using the skill, he grants an extra turn, which is massive because it will allow you to rotate into the A2, put petrification on the biggest strat, and then, of course, True Fear on the other ones. With a passive, whenever an enemy is revived, places a True Fear debuff on them for 2 turns. If there are multiple champions on the team with this skill, the effect will only activate once. Removes any crowd control debuff from this champion before the start of their turn. Which means that the only thing that can keep this enemy at bay will be, of course, polymorph. Now, in order to kind of like counter polymorph, we're gonna have to build him either with pinpoint, either with feral, guys. So that's kind of like mandatory for whoever is playing in the higher end arena where you are encountering polymorph at pretty much every single corner. We have a speed aura for all battles, 19%. To be honest with you guys, he is definitely more of a PvP champion. Not saying that you cannot use him in Faction Wars, Doom Tower, Curse City, Secret Rooms, etc. because he's gonna be a massive crowd control, lockout, and all that. But to be honest, I would have liked if he had a 28% speed arena battle rather than a general aura, basically. Either way, this is the build that I have on him, guys. We have a 6-piece pinpoint, and we have perception set. The main thing that you want to prioritize on the champion is have him as fast as possible, as much accuracy as possible, and this is pretty much the same thing you're going to do on Warlord, on Yumeko, on Krixia. Nothing really changes. Speed and accuracy. Then, of course, as I mentioned, the gear sets are really important because it does land a lot of fear, which can make him get polymorph non-stop. So if you don't have the right gear set on him, that will be an issue. So these are the total stats. We have 61k HP, 2.7k defense, 394 speed, 749 accuracy. I don't have a blessing on him just yet, but we're going to put that on. And this is one of the best relics you could use on him. So it's either the Temporal Stagnator, either you're using the Wand. So this one will give you accuracy and speed, and the wearer will have a chance to remove, steal, or convert buffs, or increase a skill's cooldown when landing a weak hit. Considering that we are in a magic affinity meta at the moment, I feel like this can be really, really nice. Or if you're trying to basically counter a polymorph, the wand is something that you should consider as well. In my opinion, these two are the best relics for him. Either the wand, either the Temporal Stagnator. Now, of course, if you have none of those, you can go with something else that you might have available that will give you some accuracy. It will give you some speed. To be honest with you guys, we do have a rare one that is pretty good, and that is the Molten Dead Bell, because, hey, we're going to land the fear, we're going to get some turn meter out of it. So it's definitely something that we can consider. Now, in terms of masteries, we have defense and support. I went with Retribution. We got a Cycle of Revenge just to gain some more turn meter. And right here, you want to get an Eagle Eye. Now, unfortunately, Sniper or Master Hexer won't really help us at all. So this is just like a filler mastery. The main thing that matters is getting the Eagle Eye to gain that extra accuracy. Arcane Celerity, of course, Lord of Steel, Cycle of Magic, everything that it will allow us to basically rotate the champion. Now, I could put a blessing on him. To be honest, in terms of blessings, most likely I would either look at Intimidating Presence, either something else that could potentially benefit me a bit more. But to be honest with you guys, they aren't that many. So 6-star polymorph, 5-star polymorph, Intimidating Presence is something that can work pretty well. Even Life Harvest is an option if you want to basically destroy the HP. Temporal Chains is going to be massive as well, especially if you get it at 6-star. So you have quite a few different options. Temporal Chains will ensure that you can cut on a Sifi or a different champion that will buff a lot. I'm not going to use a blessing. I have him fully booked and all that. First, let's take him in for a speed in Faction Wars. We're going to see how he performs in PvE. And then we're going to basically move to PvP. I am on the test server. If anybody's going to comment, Skratch, why do you have all of your faction creeps open? Why do you have 2 million gems, etc.? I'm on the test server, okay? So just so you guys remember that. I know I've mentioned it at the beginning. Now what I'm going to do right here, I'm actually going to take Little Miss Annie out because she just deals way too much freaking damage. And instead, I'm going to bring in UDK, and we're going to let them go as they are like this. So we have the speed aura from him, which is actually pretty good in here. Look at that. Increases the cooldowns. Bang, extra turn. We got resisted on putting that petrification, but we landed the fear on everybody else. Now I shouldn't really have Husk in here because he stuns as well. We don't want to have all that crowd control. We want the enemies to take a turn. We want them to actually use skills while they are under that fear, right? So let's just put in another random champion. I don't even think I have gear on that one, but that's fine. I'm not going for the 3-star here. I'm just going to basically show you what the champion can do. Extra turn, petrification, fear on everybody else. We have Mashaled in here. I know a lot of you guys were like, Skratch, he's gonna work great with Mashaled because they're both bringing in the fear. To be honest, I don't really think you need Mashaled to bring in the fear because Fabian already does it. So Mashaled is just kind of like a filler in here. You see, we decrease the cooldown of that unkillable. Beautiful. Doesn't really seem that they are taking any turns, to be honest. Come on, anyone taking some turns? Martyr. Okay, no, she failed to use the skill. Okay, so basically the fear is getting the job done. The fear is getting the job done, which is good. maybe on the next wave they will be taking some turns. And as I was mentioning, going back to Mashaled, I don't really think you need him. Like, Fabian brings all of the fear. If you're using the A3, you're instantly going to gain an extra turn because they have no buffs at the beginning of the fight, right? So taking that into consideration, look at that, you see? Bang, he brought the fear himself. We don't really need Mashaled in here for it. Yeah, more fear could be nice, but to be honest, they are getting the job done as it is. Look at that, petrification everywhere. Once again, when they're taking a turn and they're under fear, like, look at the crowd control, bro. Like, the crowd control is crazy from this champion. Yes, I know a lot of you guys were like, Skratch, he's not our man's or anything like that. He sucks. Only a few of you said he sucks this time around. To be honest, I think he's a really solid champion. Like, increased cooldown skills. Whoever skips this fusion, okay, whoever skips this fusion is gonna cry like a baby that they don't have a lockout champion later, okay? If you don't have Warlord, if you don't have Yumeko, if you don't have Krixia, which, by the way, there are only 3 champions that do a proper lockout in the game, you're going to cry like a baby if you're skipping this fusion. Because, hey, Fabian is just giving you the champion that everybody wanted for the last 5 years. A champion that locks the skills. And while we thought that something like this will never happen, we actually have a proper champion that increases the cooldowns of the skills this time around. And yeah, I personally like the fusion. I think he's a solid control. It does have his counters, like Siphi's passive is really annoying because she can remove the fear. There are a few different champions that could potentially counter. Magic champions are an issue, as I've mentioned, because you can get a lot of weak hits, and if you're getting a weak hit versus an Armans and you're not increasing the cooldowns of the skills, he's gonna smack you back, basically. If you're getting that versus Ancora, she can smack you back, or Siegfried, or Nice, or all of the magic champions, to be honest. Rotos. We have so many. I can't really remember every single one of them, but we have a lot of strong magic champions. But either way, as you guys probably noticed, he's doing an amazing job at crowd controlling. Even if you're not a big fan of PvP, to be honest with you guys, he's just that good for PvE as well. On Waves, Doom Tower, Curse City. Who knows what other content will come in the future. Plarium already mentioned that they are working on upgrading the faction wars. So having a champion like him available on your account even dealt 300k damage. I don't even have him built for damage. So definitely pretty damn solid Mr. Fabian right here. And he looks badass. I love the design on the champion. Heading into the arena, let's do a few fights. So if we are going to start with let's go versus this team right here. So I'm actually gonna bring in Lazarius to make sure I'm fast enough, and we're gonna go in with Eilil. We're gonna go in with Eilil. We do have a couple of magic champions in here as well, which could potentially pose a threat. So we increase the cooldowns on everybody, which is absolutely amazing. So right now I can basically go and try to kill somebody, and I feel like the biggest threat right here is... Oh, it's going to be Gizmak, who absolutely wrecked me. Gizmak absolutely wrecked me. And Warlord seems like he got resisted or something. Okay, we're gonna have to come back to this fight because we just got clapped. We hit that reaction. I'm supposed to definitely target somebody else. So let's come back to it right here. And start again. Did Warlord got resisted there, or he has that relic maybe? Okay, so we increase the cooldowns, decreases buff duration. I might just go in with this on Lazarius. Okay, so we got a stone skin. At least my Eilil is going to survive versus that Gizmak right here. So I'm actually going to put a block buffs, put immunity on, so at least he cannot put the defense down. Maybe like this, they're going to survive. Okay. So now we have Eilil. Let's do an AoE like this. Bang! We got him down. Okay, so that reaction really messed us up, and Warlord getting resisted or something. Or maybe the relic proc, and we haven't actually locked the skills. But Fabian can definitely do an amazing job in all of these scenarios. So let's drop these. We're going to go in like that. It's no point to bring a 4th champion because I don't want to bring in an Armans. I already have a lockout with him, which brings lockout and crowd control, which is really strong. And I feel like a lot of people are kind of like underestimating Fabian. You see, cooldowns. Let's take... Who should we take down? Let's take him down. And let's do that. Okay, so right now we already have petrification from Arbais on him, but I'm gonna put it on him instead. Fear on everybody else. Let's try to take him down. Petrification is keeping them at bay. They're not really gonna be able to do much. Okay, so we have that fear on the horse, but we're gonna take him down, and I'm gonna try to look for a different team. So this one right here, this is a lot of RNG, and this is the perfect example, mainly because they have so much. They have 2 magic champions, and they're gonna create so much RNG. So let me just bring them in up and run. Okay, we were slower this time around because I haven't brought in Lazarius. I actually forgot. You see, we have Ancora that's messing us up. And I don't have the increased attack right now. Okay. Let's see. Is that going to be a problem? Yes, it is going to be a problem. It is going to be a problem. So let's put that fear on everybody else. That kind of sucks because that Narcissus is going to clap us right now. I'm supposed to bring in my Lazarius though. So fear on Armans. Seems like he's proccing. And we got the stun right there. Okay, so let's bring in my Lazarius. And let's try it again. This is a lot of RNG, as I've mentioned before. And you're going to notice it really, really well. Magic Champions, weak hit. Magic Champions, weak hit. That's what my Crixia used to do all the freaking time in Live Arena. Okay, this time around we increase the cooldowns on every single champion. If I've seen that right. So I'm going to try to take him down. Okay, beautiful. Let's try to do that. Block Oh! I think Ancora decreased them on Narcissus. I'm not even sure what happened there. Okay, yeah, she did. She did, you see? So that's the RNG with Narcissus, but I'm still going to go versus this team because I want to show you that once you lock them is a GG. But this is the biggest weakness for the Fusion, and I do want to prioritize that aspect as well. I do want to show it to you because I do think it's pretty important. Let's see if we can kill Ancora better. Yes, we can. Ooh, Fabian counterattack. Drop the thermometer. We put fear on him. Beautiful. And now we should be able to slowly take the rest down. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, we have the block buffs on. Counterattack, which is not going to do nothing. Let's get that increased attack up and running. A1 again. Drop the thermometer. Fear again, which is really, really helpful. And bang, get a win. So yes, we lost a couple of fights. One was my mistake because I forgot to change Arbais for Lazarius. The second one, even though we locked them all, Ancora decreased the cooldown on Narcissus, but it does have a lot of RNG versus Magic Champion. So that's something you should be well aware of. If we're going to go versus this one, so this is going to be a bit more interesting. So I'm going to bring him in as well, actually, just so we can try to lock the passives on that. Ooh, if we can. We might not be able to, but hey. So, lock. Okay, we decrease the cooldowns. Have we decreased the cooldowns? We're supposed to take a turn, right? But I have a feeling we haven't decreased the cooldowns on somebody. I'm not sure exactly on who, but something did happen. Okay, so she's down. Right now, I want to basically lock the passives on her. Okay, or kill her, just to make sure that Marius is not gonna clap me after, you know? So we can basically do this. Petrification, fear on Marius, a nice AoE, take Marius down, and then deal with Taras, which has pretty much everything locked, so he's not really gonna be able to do that much. Even though he is killing some of my champions, it doesn't really matter. Slowly, we're gonna pick him. And we can actually go like this. Beautiful. Counterattack. And we should be able to finally take a turn with Eilil as well and maybe wipe that Taras off. I'm just using Eilil because I moved my gear from some other damage dealers on him. And he's actually not bad. I know some of you guys were like, Skratch, you really tried hard to make him sound like he's good now after the buff. He's actually not bad after the buff, guys. So, that's what basically Fabian can do for your team. I think he's really strong. Now, as I've mentioned, versus Siphi, that is a problem. And we do have Rotos in here as well, which most likely I should not really keep in the fight, but we're going to bring UDK in here. So that Rotos can't do much versus my Eilil if he decides to go crazy or anything like that. So this is the perfect example because Siphi's passive is going to proc. We have another magic champion in here, which is Rotos. Plus, of course, Siphi's passive will cleanse Rotos no matter what. But if we're going to get weak hits, so no weak hits, we got resisted on Numeko, which seems to be like a 3% chance or something like that. Okay, we got Siphi down. We got our cooldowns increased. She revived. So seems like we got resisted on her or something. Maybe she's built for resistance. That's fine. Okay. So that Yumeko kind of messed us up. But look at that, you see? Siphi took a turn because the fear did not disappear. Bang, he attacked. Petrification, fear on the rest. Now, that petrification is still going to be a bit of a threat for us, as I was mentioning before. And not petrification, Siphi's passive, right? Regardless of the petrification or not, she's still removing that fear, which is, in a way or another, pretty annoying. And let's see. Decrease the cooldowns. Hello? Can you attack somebody? Okay, so we increase the cooldowns on everybody. We still have some buffs left in there, which is fine. I'm actually gonna kill that Siphi. Yeah, you can do your Metamorph. Doesn't really matter. Even if she steals my buffs and puts that... I'm not a big fan of this champion. I know some of you guys were like, Skratch, you might be underestimating her. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't, but I just don't think she's posing a massive threat or anything like that. Like, she removed my buff, so what? Nothing else happened after. That's the main thing that I have with her, basically. Is that like a resistance Yumeko, or we just got like 3% it twice, man? Either way, guys. Fabian, with counters, without counters. I think his kit is super strong. And he can be tons of fun for pretty much everybody that decides to go for this fusion. As usual, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Personally, I will go for the fusion. I will recommend you guys to go for the fusion because I feel like he's a strong champion. Lockout champions are not growing on trees or anything like that. So, up to you guys if you're planning to go for the fusion or not. It doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't affect me. It will affect your own account. But, appreciate all of you guys watching. Much love, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.